Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. In this video, I am primarily going to be talking about Polene. I've had many requests to talk about Polene. And I was in Paris a few months ago and had a good look at Polene. I spent over an hour in their showroom and had a good look at their bags and thought, what I'm going to say is going to ruffle a few feathers. But if anything, I hope you take away, or rather it's food for thought. But I thought, why don't I also offer a couple of other alternatives to Polene that bring in different styles, colors, and also quality and craftsmanship. And they are Maison Pourchet and Le Tanneur. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things, whether you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on quality under the radar brands, or you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying quality from the get-go, then my content is geared towards you. It's always a major red flag for me when a brand is incredibly aggressive when it comes to their marketing. But the handbag space is also quite saturated. So if a brand feels their product is good, they want to get it out there, so they'll do whatever they can. But I think if something is good, it'll shine through regardless. But it's a brand's prerogative to want to try and push through something that they think is good. Every month without fail, sometimes twice a month, I'll receive an email from Teddy Blake asking to send through a bag in exchange for a review and video. That's just something I'm not going to do. It's not a brand I necessarily buy into just from the look and the feel that I've seen people talk about, the reviews and stuff. Polene haven't sent me an email, but I get a lot of advertising coming through from them on my social media. I've seen quite a few influencers talk about the bags they've been gifted, building a Polene collection, and I always feel, are they being honest? And also, people don't necessarily want to get written off if they say something negative or contrary about a brand, or do they really look at the bags in a lot of detail apart from maybe say what they've been told? I don't know, but these are all things going through my mind, that if a brand is good, it'll shine through in its own right. It doesn't need the aggressive marketing. But the brand has the right, because if they think their product's good, they want to push it out to the forefront. So when I went to the Polene boutique, it's located on Rue de Richelieu, and that's literally a 5-minute walk away from Maison Pourchet, the brand I'm going to talk about in a second. That's located on Avenue de l'Opéra, which is a fairly major road, and they have a Cedric Grolet bakery on there as well. So if you see a massive queue on Avenue de l'Opéra, you're on the right road. So anyway, coming back to Polene, 10 out of 10 I give Polene with regards to their showroom. Beautifully laid out, very well thought out. The layout is fantastic. You have a seating space, and then you have shelving strategically positioned all around the store, soft lighting in tandem with the reams of natural light streaming through, very soft music playing in the background. The sales assistants are attired in funky outfits. I mean, it's very well thought out, well put together. Great flagship. And they also have another flagship store in New York. I've seen pictures of it. Looks fantastic. Looks top end. It looks the part. So you walk in, you're wowed by the look, and then obviously you're going to think, wow, the products are on the same level. So I get that. That is how I looked at it. I spent an hour, as I mentioned. I spent about 10-15 minutes in the seating space. There are a lot of men waiting for partners, wives, siblings, and so forth. And just trying to get a feel for the demographic, just people watching, who's coming and going, the footfall, the type of people, what are they saying, and just observing people interacting with the products. And I just wanted to get a better understanding of that. And then I spent the balance of the hour just looking at the products. What I can say about Polene bags is they are stylish. 10 out of 10, they're stylish, they're trendy, funky designs, a play off some of the really popular styles like Teddy Blake does. With Polene specifically, the moon bag, Prada, the Row have done their variation. They have the nano bag as well. I mean, Fantastic, funky, relevant styles that really work, contemporary styles that really work. They're functional, they perform their task as a bag. But one thing I can say about their bags is they're not built for longevity. You're not going to get mileage from their bags. And why I say this is, from what I observed, when I looked at the bags, seeing the samples that were out there, the bags are more the top end of your everyday level of luxury. Everyday level of luxury is the bags that are priced between £100 and £250–300, around that mark. Under £100 is your fast fashion, and that's a level that I'm not going to ever recommend and would never suggest someone buys from fast fashion. Save and jump up to everyday luxury and go for brands that are slightly better quality and you get more mileage from your bags. And the two that I'm going to talk about, Le Tanneur and Maison Pourchet, you definitely will. But the pricing of the Polene bags, all around the €300 mark, between €290 through to about €360, depending on the size, of course. Very interesting colors. You have your lighter, your neutral color palette. Very easy to match and wear colors, trendy colors. And the pricing is, to me, very much give the impression of value, that you're paying for a quality product, and also to pay for all of that fantastic stuff you see, the lighting, the music, the beautiful showrooms, the products, the packaging, all of that is priced within that 300, and you are paying an amount of money that you consider. It's not something that's throwaway for most people, but you think about it and you would associate it with a certain level of quality. But you're not necessarily getting that quality. And I'm going to show you a couple of bags and what I saw and why I think the bags are stylish. They're good to look at aesthetically, they're functional, but they're not built for longevity. Couple of bags I looked at. What I noticed first and foremost is the leather. On their website, they talk about chrome tanning, and it's almost as if they're glorifying this whole concept of chrome tanning. Chrome tanning is nothing fantastic. It's what 80 to 90% of brands use, chrome tanned leather. Different levels, different qualities of leather, but it's essentially converting the leather hide into the animal hide into the leather, and they typically use chrome. The slight drawback, depending on the type of chrome, it can leach off a lot of toxins into the environment. But chrome tanning is something that is very quick, it's cheap, it can be done within a day, and you're able to produce large quantities of leather. And then of course there are different qualities of leather that then the different brands then buy into. But the leather you get, they produce, is very soft, it's supple, it's ready for action, it's typically stain, water and heat resistant. So it's what a lot of your brands, the brands I've spoken about, entry level, Coach, you have Michael Kors, Kate Spade, Furla, all of those brands will typically use, but different qualities of leather that they would buy. And so they're coming in with the chrome tanned. I looked at the leather and I noticed the color was lifting, and then underneath you have the white. So it's not necessarily dyed in a manner that's built to last. The colors are also quite fresh, geared towards a younger audience. They're going to get grubby and they're going to be replaced. Once the style is out of fashion, the bag is a bit grubby, you've got your usage from it, and you discard it and buy the next bag. But the other things that were a real telltale sign to me about the poor quality was when I looked at this whole concept of edge coating that I've spoken about. I'm going to attach the video above. And the edge coating was already cracked before the bag had even left the store. This may have just been a sample that's always sitting on the shelf, but this will give you an idea of wear and tear. It was already cracking. Now imagine after 6 months of constant high usage, it's going to be totally ripped. It's going to look, it's not going to be very attractive. I looked at the leather, where the belt buckles were, the actual buckles, the pokes, and it was already moving. The leather was tearing. And I just thought, okay, so edge coating is going to give fairly quickly. The leather is also going to start to scuff. The color is going to peel. If you scratch it, you have the white underneath. And those to me were not necessarily indicators of quality. This showed me that this is a bag that you're going to buy, enjoy it, use it and discard it. And you're paying a lot of money for it. And all of the hype, the marketing, the aggressive campaigns we've been seeing, it's to justify the price tag. It's to say, come in, buy this, be part of this, buy a trend bag. The moon bag, for example, you can't afford Prada prices, then Polene. But I would hazard a guess without actually doing my research and say there are better variations of the moon bag from other brands at a cheaper price to Polene. But you're not going to get mileage from this bag. But what I would recommend are two other brands. Maison Pourchet, as I mentioned, literally 5-minute walk from Polene. Firstly, it's a heritage brand founded in 1903. It's been around for a long time, and that's a testament to the quality, the craftsmanship. It is very much entry level. Their bags are priced around 100 through to about 300 euros, so it's comfortably within everyday. Focus very much on using cowhide with their bags, either a textured or a smooth cowhide. Their aesthetic is incredibly simple. There is no fuss or details on their bags. They're very simple, they're functional, and they come in a range of colors. If you were somebody who doesn't care for luxury, but you want something that's well made, that's timeless, somebody who can afford the top end of fast fashion. So fast fashion is the bags that are under £100, which I personally will never recommend. If you can afford the top end of £100, then I would say save and bump up to Maison Pourchet. You're going to get a better quality product. For this entry level, when I think of the French brands I've seen, you're not going to get a better quality product when it comes to the quality of the leathers used and also the craftsmanship. And even standing Maison Pourchet alongside other entry-level brands I've spoken about, like Kate Spade, Furla, Michael Kors, for example, it's a fantastic brand. You're going to get your money's worth. It's timeless, it's well made. For entry level, it's one of the better brands to invest your money if that is your budget. It's fantastic. There's absolutely nothing I can really fault about this brand. And then the second is Le Tanneur, which I have spoken about recently. I'm going to attach the video above the tote video, and I spoke about their Camille tote. Another heritage brand founded in 1898. The quality, the craftsmanship, it's there, it's evident. That's why the brand has been in business for a while, and they've continued to just improve the brand over the years. With Le Tanneur, they have what I call two levels. They have their entry level with about 4 or 5 styles. Styles like Giselle, there's Juliette, there's Eva, for example. Slightly more elevated product, especially in comparison to Maison Pourchet, which is a very simple aesthetic. Their bags are timeless, they're still classic, but they have a little detail, whether it's a T-charm, for example, or additional buckling detail or something like that. It's still timeless, but with just a little more detail. And they have a much wider selection of leathers. They have calf skin, bull skin, they also have cowhide, they have textured variations, smooth variations, and they also have patterned, colored variations. So you're spoiled for choice within that entry level. And their entry level bags are typically priced around 400 euros and below. And then there's a jump up to their top end, which is called the Made in France. Bags are made in France, better quality, superior in terms of the craftsmanship and also the quality of the leathers that they use. There are 3 styles. There's the Louise, which is the totes and also a bucket bags. Then there's the Madeleine, which is the hobo bags. And then they have another variation called, another range called Sans Couture, which is the top handle bag, which I personally like. Made in France range is typically priced between 500 euros through to about just over 900 euros. One thing worth mentioning that really stands out and actually got Le Tanneur on my radar is they work, or rather 80% of their bags are produced using leather from leatherworking group tanneries. I've spoken about leatherworking group tanneries. I'm going to attach one of the videos above. And I really like this group because there are many brands within that group. Louis Vuitton, Moët Hennessy, the largest luxury group in the world. You have Acne, Prada, you have the British Berries, Marbury, Burberry. They all are within this leather working group where they source leathers from tanneries that are incredibly focused on being accountable, traceability, and also having systems in place that minimize on the negative impact of their production on the environment. And it's the way the industry is going. But some of the brands I've mentioned are very much focused and being practical in how they source their leathers. And Le Tanneur is part of this group. 80% of the leathers they source are focused on being environmentally efficient in how they're being produced. They're aiming for 2025 to be able to say 100% of the bags that they produced are from tanneries within the leather working group. So that in itself is commendable. It says a lot about the brand, that they're really conscious and focused on producing environmentally friendly products. But the quality is also there. It's a heritage brand. You have the entry level, you have the top end. And as I mentioned, the Sans Couture is a top handle bag, which I really like. The style, I like the slate color. And then you also have, the bag is in a smooth calf skin with a very gentle sheen to it. So it doesn't scuff as easily. I like the studded detail all around. I like the top handle. Many top-end brands have a variation, but this particular variation from Le Tanneur, it looks quality. It is a quality product. It's their top end together with the Madeleine and also the Louise range. Within the Louise and Madeleine, they have bullskin hobo bags and also totes. Their bullskin is a little on the thinner side. When I think of bullskin, I've spoken about bullskin recently. I'm going to attach the video above where I define calf skin, cowhide, and bullskin and the benefits of the different types of hides. Bullskin is thicker, it's heavier, it's more robust, whereas Le Tanneur is on the thinner side, but that's also reflected in the price. Bullskin, I would tend to go for a slightly higher level of luxury and pay more for a thicker, more robust leather. But when I look at Le Tanneur in its entirety, it's a fantastic brand. Affordable luxury, their bags are priced all the way through from 200 through to about 900. You're spoiled for choice with the two ranges. Classic timeless pieces. They also have their signature riveting style, which is the folding without the stitching, and you see that with the Sans Couture range and also in the other ranges as well. But in terms of variety, bringing in different colors, styles, craftsmanship, better quality leathers to Polene, Maison Pourchet and Le Tanneur are two fantastic alternatives. And as I mentioned before, I'm getting increasingly more 20s, 30s, early 40s saying, talk more about entry-level brands. Maison Pourchet and Le Tanneur are two to get on your radar. Fantastic timeless designs, well made for their respective price points. You'll definitely get your money's worth. Any other questions about any of the three brands I've spoken about, Polene, Maison Pourchet, or Le Tanneur? As always, let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.